How to destroy your ego. Google's definition of what the ego is: a person's sense of self-importance or self-esteem, a conscious thinking subject. The ego wants to feel important. The ego is disguising themselves as being the thinking consciousness behind everything. This video is only an overview of how to rid yourself of the ego. There's so many aspects to go about it, but I'll just give you a few tips right here so you can kind of start having a sense of what it's like to really live in accordance to your true self and not the ego. First thing is stop trying to feel important by stopping to show off to your friends. A lot of pickup artists, they show off how many girls they have slept with. You only slept with 4 girls. I slept with 26 girls. Who gives a oh my god, who gives a fuck, man? Oh my god, who cares, man? Why do you need me to approve? It's reinforcing them, just seeking out approval from other people, and it's just kind of, I don't know, I just don't want to reinforce that. I'm not judging them, I'm just saying it's not the healthiest thing to do. Instead of showing off to other people, learn to enjoy those achievements by yourself with no one else. Not social media, not your phone, not your friend, not your best friend, just by yourself. You had something amazing, you want to show it off to everyone, right? Don't fucking do that. Don't show off the pictures. Don't be like, oh, look, she's so hot, man. I'm going on a date with her, man. Sure, it's cool if you're really excited about it. You should, why not, right? You can share it out of excitement, but don't share it out of, I want people to think I'm cool. Don't make a whole identity out of it. Don't try to seek something out of it. If it's just sharing out of excitement, like, that's awesome. What you can do when you achieve something great, for example, a great project, before you send it to other people, sit with yourself and enjoy it with yourself. With a cup of coffee, a nice dessert maybe, and tell yourself, wow, that was fucking amazing what I did. And sit with it for at least 5 minutes. If you want to go more advanced with this, you can even tell yourself, I didn't make this, it just happened through me. That's more of a spiritual way of seeing it. Me, I truly believe that whatever I'm doing, I'm not really doing it. As I'm talking right now, I don't even know what I'm gonna say next. Do you think I'm coming up with all this shit like crazy, like, oh, I fucking did this, man, like, this is coming from me because I'm so intelligent? No, this is just flowing through me, right through my mouth like this. This might seem absurd to you, but if you observe your thoughts, do you think you're creating every single thought in your head? Or is the thought just happening by itself? And if those thoughts translate into words, translate into actions, if all your actions and words originate from thought, and you don't even know where your thoughts come from, are you really doing what you're doing right now? Think about it. From this perspective, then you can completely rid yourself of, I'm doing it. This is my work. If you don't relate to this, that's fine. Just start with celebrating by yourself. And that could be your first step to getting yourself rid of the ego. Another tip would be to be realistic with yourself and humble with yourself. Don't try to aggrandize all your achievements, making them bigger than they are, or dreaming about how great you'll be in the future. The dreaming is just a byproduct of wanting to create an ego that's better than what is today. The process of dreaming is just a hope for the ego to grow itself in the future, disregarding the now. Dreaming can become a very insidious thing. It makes you believe that you will be it in the future, that you have hope, that you will be successful one day. And it's completely disregarding the fact of reality. Go back to reality. Be humble with yourself, and you realize that you're just a human being like everybody else. All these celebrities that you've seen on a pedestal, all of a sudden, then you see that they're not superhuman, that you can achieve that as well. You see yourself as equal to everybody else, and through this equality, the ego slowly chips away. Slowly, you start to accept yourself for who you are, and that's an amazing thing. And you accept other people, and you don't see them for their ego, for their front, right? For their mask they're putting on, but you see them for who they actually are. Dreaming without action is the most insidious of things. You have to completely cut it out now. Cut it out. Don't dream without action. But if you're dreaming and taking action, then that's completely fine. But if you're only dreaming, your dreams will never come to reality. I don't care about how much law of attraction you've read and how much you believe that you will attract things by just believing in them. You have to take action too, or else your dreams will be crushed by reality. You'll be completely crushed and annihilated by reality. Additionally to stopping putting people on a pedestal, I want you to stop judging people for their inadequacies. If someone appears more inadequate to you, perhaps they're acting in weird ways, and you don't say that whatever they're doing is, oh, you're just a fucking ego-driven guy, because what's that doing? That's reinforcing your ego, that you're better than him, because you don't show off. No, you're not better than him because you don't show off. You guys are just the same. It's just he's at a different stage in his life than you are. Maybe he strongly believes in his ego, and that's fine. By stopping to judge them, accepting them for who they are, you start accepting yourself. The common thing when you first meet someone is you have two egos that are sort of rubbing on each other. I'm this beautiful girl, and you're like, oh, I'm this fucking pimp. I'm gonna show that girl I'm a fucking pimp. And it's like sort of, you guys are sort of talking, and it's just the ego is rubbing through each other. But if you completely drop the judgments, eventually your ego will just dissolve, right? And you'll be talking through their ego, through your real self. And eventually, just like by throwing that ego away, while they still have their ego in place, you can talk through that ego by simply being your authentic self, and just, you don't condemn the ego, you're just fine with it. In other people and in yourself, you might actually dissolve their ego and they'll start being themselves more around you. And then you have two people that are talking authentically to each other, being vulnerable, being intimate, being themselves around each other. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Talk through your real self, authentic self. Get rid of all those judgments, preconceptions, and you'll see on the other side, the other person will be really grateful that you're being able to show them the path to selflessness. To rid yourself of the ego in more practical aspects of life, for example, you're trying to learn mastery in a certain instrument, in a certain sport, in a certain craft, in a certain art form, I want you to drop the expectations that of whatever level you're at. If you're trying to learn pickup and trying to pick up women and you think, oh, I'm intermediate, man. I'm like right in the middle right here. Oh, you know what? I'm just between beginner and intermediate right here, you know? Or, oh, you know what, guys? I'm fucking advanced. I'm fucking good at this. I want you to drop all those expectations of where you are at skill-wise. Of course, now it doesn't mean to be unrealistic. You tell yourself, oh, whatever, who gives a fuck? Doesn't mean to stop the fucking realistic assessment of yourself, right? It just means don't label it. Look realistically at where you're at and progress in accordance to that. Don't try to compare yourself to others, and then your ego will just dissolve again here. Every day that you're learning something, stop trying to be right. Stop trying to be right. Completely. Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. Stop trying to convince people of your arguments. Stop trying that. If you stop trying to be right, you welcome learning into your life. You welcome controversy into your life. You welcome the dark side of what you don't want to hear about the topic. For example, I've posted my videos on Reddit a couple of times. I get the worst of feedback. It's horrible. The feedback is horrible. They're telling me, why, who is this guy with this mask? Who is this stupid loser loner virgin who's crying on his bed? Like, why is he doing this? And all this stupid shit, right? Like, what is this shit? I didn't need an 8-minute video to tell me that girls don't bring happiness. The reason why they're rejecting so hard is, sure, they don't like my videos, but also because it's clashing with what they already believe. Because they think that their knowledge is superior than myself, for example, then they automatically reject it and they think that they're right. And this ego is so insidious because it stunts your development, thinking that you already know enough, that no one can contradict you. If you think that you're always right, well, guess what? You're probably always wrong. And if you believe that you can be wrong, well, guess what? You might just have the chance of one day being right in one thing. Stop trying to be right. Be wrong every single day. Be wrong. Risk being wrong. And whatever I'm saying right now, maybe I'm wrong in everything I'm saying right now. Guess what? There might be a chance that all of this video is just pure bullshit. Maybe it's pure bullshit content and no one will fucking like it. No one believes in it, and maybe, I don't know, man, maybe all I'm saying is bull crap. Well, guess what? I put this video out because I want to risk being wrong. That's it. I want you guys to prove me wrong. Tell me, oh, what you said here is not right because this. Say it to me. I want to hear what you have to say. That's fucking amazing. I want to learn from it. I want to learn from your feedback. Thank you. That's how I'm humble with myself. Welcome criticism. Welcome feedback into your life. Also, stop dreaming. Start working. The more you get to work and the more you stop talking about things, then suddenly your purpose starts to unfold. It stops being tied in those reveries of how you'll be in one day, right? The more grounded you are to reality, the less the ego will have its grip on you. Because the ego is based on fantasy. The ego is based on who you wish you were, the mask you put on. But if you ground yourself in reality through action every day, then suddenly the ego will just have to dissolve itself. It'll have to face the truth. It'll have to take a blow in the face. When you get criticism, when you get hate, this is where the ego will get its greatest hit. And that's amazing, because the greater the hit you get, the more the ego will just start dissolving. Slowly, you'll take away the mask and all this stupid shit. And you'll go to the very core of who you are. And then you will find true self. A lot of the ego comes from the story that we tell ourselves, that we believe that we are, that we believe that we were in the past, or that we believe that we're gonna be in the future. Every single one of us, we have a story. And this story is either fueling a victim complex, a superiority complex, a whatever shit complex, right? Whatever problem in our lives that we have, right? Whatever pain and frustration and suffering comes from that stupid story that we've told ourselves a long time ago. I'm not pointing the finger like, fuck this story, oh my God, it's the worst thing. It's like, no, I'm just saying it's false. It's stupid, it's false, it's a fact. It's not judging. For example, most people, when they call a person fat, oh, this girl is so fucking fat, they say with a bit of remorse and judgmental attitude towards it. But me, when I say this, like, yeah, this girl's fat. She's fat, she's really fat. Am I judging her? No, I'm just saying, no, it's a fact. If you have a certain fat percentage that's higher than usual, then you're just fat. It's not a bad thing, I'm just saying they're fat. It's the same thing. The story you tell yourself is stupid. I think you can learn to be more accepting of that stupidity in you. Tell yourself, hey, you know what? My brain is being kind of stupid right now, telling me all those stories about who I am. Well, that's not who I am. A very simple exercise for you. Every time you hear that story, even if it's for a second, that's telling you, oh, I'm not enough, I'm the shy kid, whatever, that you've kept telling yourself, right? Tell yourself, well, that's not me. That's all I'm telling you to do. And slowly but surely, your ego will just start chipping away of all the things that are limiting you. And suddenly you'll be in touch with your real self. Now, the dark side of selflessness. The dark side of selflessness is you end up in a place where you don't know who you are anymore, right? If you get rid of the ego. That's a lot of the dark night of the soul that people call in the spiritual community, or the midlife crisis or existential crisis of you don't know who you are anymore, where you stand and all those things. Selflessness and having no ego doesn't mean that you stop having a purpose, doesn't mean that you stop living, it just means that you stop associating yourself with the image that you portray. While you start in this journey, it's very common that you fall in this trap, and it's completely fine. I fell into it, right? I fell into it a few months ago, and I was really completely lost. I didn't know who I was, and I was just completely in the fucking clouds. And that's fine. And I'll probably do another video on this topic, but that's a completely different topic. But if you fall into this void of you don't know who you are, I just want you to hang on in there and just don't try to latch onto something else to fill that void. Just sit through it, accept it. And suddenly, slowly but surely, your purpose will come back to the forefront. You will see the meaning of life. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's a very dense topic. I'll probably do a series on just that, the ego. There's so much to say about that. Actually, when you watch my videos, I want you to see that every single video is aimed at chipping away at the ego slowly, whether conceptually, in your approach to life, in your approach to art, in your approach to how you grow yourself, right? Every single video, in some shape or form, I'm telling you about how to get rid of the ego. So now that you've watched this video, if you decide to watch the other videos, look at where the selflessness is. Look at the concepts of having no ego in it. So guys, thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below. I read every single suggestion and I reply to every single suggestion. And your best suggestions, I'll make videos about it. So keep them coming, and no idea is too personal enough. No question is too weird enough. I listen to everything. So tell me anything. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video, guys.